right now, okay? Hi, everyone. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, here for Cricut Date Night. We're making ornaments tonight, and I hope I can get a few people on so they could see how I make my glittered ornaments. It might be a slightly different technique than other people, but I've been doing this for years, and I've had no complaints. I just did this one here, Merry and Bright. Look at this one, Peace, Joy, and Love. And I'm going to show you how to get the glitter inside of the ornament. Hello, Maria. Good evening. Welcome. So I'm going to show you, hi Wanda, how to get the glitter on the inside. So this has no glitter that's going to fall off and come on all of your, your tree and your clothes and everything. Hi, Emmy. How are you tonight? And there's a lot you can do with these because there are tons of types of glitter. And there are also tons of types of these empty ornaments available. Hello, Esther. Hi, Lori Joe. Hi, Terry. Welcome. Hi, Lorraine. So we've got a lot of people joining us today. Hi, Dorothy. So there are these, let's just start off with the basics, and I'm just going to jump right in because I'm so excited about this topic. First off, you need to get yourself, to make these ornaments like this, you need to get yourself some empty ornaments like this. And then you will need to have some glitter on hand. And by the way, these ornaments come in all shapes, all different kinds of sizes. These ones are really large. Hi, Paula. Oh, hi. Welcome, Esther, first-time watcher. Hi, Lisa. So these come in all kinds of sizes. This is obviously a big size. This one's a little bit smaller. They also come in glass and plastic. I used to only use the glass. Hi, Lynn. I used to only use the glass ones until I sent some to school with my son, and he dropped them on the bus, and they all shattered, and the teacher got angry with me. Even though they were all wrapped up really good. I don't know, he must have really hit those things. And so I eventually switched to the plastic ones. And you can actually buy them. The glass ones usually come in this pretty kind of box that you can store things in, but you can buy them in the plastic ones in a big old container. And this time of year, they're just now getting in the stores. But as the season rolls on, you'll notice that they go on sale quite frequently, all the way up until Christmas. So you'll often find them for 50% off, or buy one, get one free. They do all kinds of things. Now, I buy these at Michael's because that's the only craft store we have. This one is plastic, as you can see, and the cover comes off like this. That's how it comes off, and you want to make sure you retain the cover when you're going to fit them. Hi, Damien. 4-year-old grandson Damien's watching. Hello, Damien. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. So you have to procure yourself these ornaments. I favor these flat ornaments, sort of flat. They still have a bit of a curve to them, as you can see, but I kind of like that you have this whole space here to work on, to put the vinyl on, and it makes it so much easier for me. Yeah, I know. The round ones, if they're really big, they're round, they're pretty, a little easier, but it does take a little bit of patience in getting that vinyl on. So tonight, I'm going to show you how to glitter the ornaments, and then I'm going to show you how to do some basic vinyl on the ornaments. I'm not going to do anything really over the top because I want for you guys to realize that this is a very easy craft, and if you have sort of entrepreneurial ambitions, like you want to go do a craft fair or something like that, this would be a perfect craft for you to do. Or if you want to give them to friends, I favor giving them with a gift card, so that way I don't have to buy presents, but I have a little present, and I usually put it in a bag or a box, and they're really wonderful gifts. They're so unique. Oh, you've never done it with glitter. Have you done it with paint, Paula? And there are other different ways. And let me show you a couple of the different glitters that I've used. I don't just use the plain old glitter. Sometimes you can buy this chunky glitter and this is actually from Target. See that? It's like stars. And then I think this was Target for $1. So you do. Hi. Oh, hi, Becky. Paula she buys the colored. That's another alternative. But I find that those ones are a little fragile. And as you guys know, I'm not exactly the most graceful of crafters. This is a little Christmas trees. And then, of course, you can do something like this with the Grinch, with that green. This is one that I really love. It's a hex glitter in opal. This came from Michael. So you can find glitter just about everywhere this time, going into the fall, and just keep your eyes peeled. So this came from Target and the dollar shop or the dollar stop. And I'm sure they have things at the dollar store, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, and other places. So just be on the lookout. And really, just about everything works. And so you don't have to be like, oh, I must do gold glitter, the small kind, or the silver glitter. No, you can do multicolored glitter. And here's something, I think this came from Michael's. Often they'll do this at Christmas where they'll give you like 4 different ones. I always pick those up. And believe it or not, one little vial like this will do like 2 or 3 ornaments depending on how thick you make it. So this will do like, a whole pack of ornaments kind of thing. One of these will do a whole pack of ornaments. So you're going to need some ornaments. You're going to need some glitter or whatever kind of chunky glitter, hex glitter, whatever. Then you're going to need some of this. This is what I use. Now, other people have used things like floor wax and other things, but this, I was told many years ago to try this, and I love it. It's called Minwax. It's the Minwax brand, Polycrylic. It's a crystal clear finish, so it dries clear, it's fast drying, and it's easy cleanup. Now, having to buy it in this, first of all, I've had this whole thing for 3 years now. So, and it's still more than halfway full. So you really don't use a whole lot. So if you want to buy it smaller, I bought a quart, but I'm sure it's available in a pint. Again, it's Minwax Polycrylic. It's a crystal clear finish. Now, to get the finish inside of the ornaments, here's what I use. You can find, this is a mayo container that, like for cookouts. But you can find like in the cake baking aisle and stuff like that, you can find other things. But it's got a twist top here. And so I can close it, and but then I just turn it upside down. And let me show you. I'll start off showing you one of the techniques. This is really simple. You're going to be like, oh my God, I had no idea. So the other thing that you want to have, up. I'm afraid my dogs are going to bark tonight. I hope they don't. But okay, the other thing you want to have on hand are these like cups, solo cups, I think they call them. Now see, I've used these over and over again. So I just keep the same 4, and I work in batches of 4. So I'm going to move this down a little bit. Oh, by the way, I fixed my problem with my phone and you know, whatever. My son helped me fix my problem. Okay, so here's what I do. I take whatever size I'm working on, and it's the same thing for everyone. So I take the covers off and I reserve them. Try not to, they're very thin, so try not to squish them, okay? And I just put them aside. You're not going to need them for a little while. And by the way, dogs love to chew these and ask me how I know. So try to put them in a safe spot. Okay, so you have this empty one. And then we take the cups. These are stuck together from last year. I don't know if I'm going to get them out. You might want to try new cups every year. That's the one thing I didn't do, was separate the cups. Oh well, we have 2 cups here, okay? And then we have our ornament without the cover. We're going to take this. I'm going to shake it up just simply because I haven't used it in a while. And then working over the cup, I'm going to just squirt a little bit, not a whole lot, okay? And then I'm just going to work around. It's sort of like with glue. Start off with less and you can add more. And you're just going to work it around. You want to make sure it gets all over. You can put your finger over the hole and try to like work it around like this if you want. And I might put a little tiny bit more in there because you just don't want to waste it. And then plus, if it gets really like soaked in there, the glitter has a hard time, and it like kind of almost like gets too slick inside of there. Okay, so I put in, Esther, this is called Minwax. It's a water-based polycrylic, okay? You can buy this at Home Depot or maybe Lowe's. I'm sure they have it at Lowe's, okay? And I put it in like a squirt bottle. That's my little trick. Put it in a squirt bottle. So that way it's easier to work with. Some other people might use a funnel, or I don't know what all else people use, like cups or whatever. So here's what I'm doing. It is sticky, and you don't want to get it all over your work surface. You want to work over the cup, and you do want to make sure you get it all in there, but there might be a little few drops extra. So you have to kind of shake it out. See, I want to get up real close so you can see it. So see, there's a few drops extra. So I want to kind of shake it, and then I often will just like leave it in the cup like that, just for a few minutes. That's why I work like kind of in 4s. Then I'll do the next one. Again, just a little squirt. Not a lot. Don't try to fill it up. And then just, you know, work it around like this. All right, and again, you could put your thumb on the top if you want to. Add more if you need to. Don't overdo it. Really, the less is more with this, okay? And believe me, because what happens is if you try to go and put your glitter in right away and you have too much in there, it actually will drip down the sides. But an important thing is getting all of those areas, because your glitter won't stick to little parts here that aren't covered with the, whoop, told you I was clumsy. So like I want to make sure that the wax is really all up in there. So maybe I'll do this a little bit. Okay. And I'm trying to work over my cup so any like little drips won't get on my work surface, or you could use paper. I always think of it later. Oh, I could have used paper in there. Okay, so you just let it set there for just a minute or two while you clean your hands or whatever. And then when you're ready, Oh, yes. And some people do use floor wax, and that's fine. I think I tried floor wax once, and it worked fine. But I liked this. It felt like, I don't know, more permanent. But, you know, whatever works for you. Whatever works for you, okay? Oh, and I love glitter. Okay, so you let them sit there for a few minutes. You know, don't be all rushing like, oh my gosh, it's gonna get too dry, because remember, it's a contained area, so it takes a little while for it to dry. And then I'm gonna open up my glitter. I think we should try this red and green. Hi, Teresa. Welcome back. Teresa, somebody was asking for you this week. Dawn Walsh, also a Canadian. She was wondering where you were. She was traveling back from her daughter. So, okay, so here's my, welcome back, by the way. So here is a bottle of glitter, and I always take they have like spouts and everything. I don't deal with that, okay? And then I take and I might leave it dry. I'll leave in a little bit more than this, but for demonstration, right? And I kind of use my hand as a spout, but if you want to use a spout, you can certainly do that. And I don't use a whole lot, again, but often I have to go back and put more in. And that's fine. And you can play with different things. I've tried mixing my own colors. I've done that before. But the point being, you need to kind of make sure it's really covering all those areas, okay? And I don't know if you can hear it. There's a little extra in there, but that's okay. See, I have only used about 1/3 of this tiny little vial. Hi, Rosalind. Hi, Lenora. Okay, so here we go. I think that looks pretty well done, but I'm going to inspect it all around because it's sort of my last chance. Now, if you get to this point and you miss a little spot, you can try to put a little bit more of that Minwax in there, and then a little bit more glitter, but you really should inspect it while you're sitting here, because you just, it's not an easy thing to do, to go back. Okay? Now, I have extra in there. I could try, if I wanted to be really frugal, I could try to save that extra, but I often don't do that. And then all I do is I just sort of turn it upside down and put it in my cup. And I will leave this actually overnight to dry. Because once you put the cap on, that's sort of it, you know? Yeah, and Lola's saying I've tried to add this afterwards and it's sort of messed up. Yeah, that's what I mean, you know, is that sometimes it's a little bit messy. So I do leave these overnight. So when I'm in the ornament making, I don't know, theme or whatever, like when I'm in the mood, I often will have like 4 or 5 cups. I'll do 4 or 5, glitter them, wait, come back in the morning or whatever, and then put the covers back on. Okay. I don't know. So who else uses floor wax? I use this. This is not floor wax. This is professional, like acrylic, from Minwax that I got at Home Depot. But I've heard some people use like a spray floor wax, like a squirt floor wax from Pledge that I think you can get at the dollar store. But it's been a long time. So this is one of my favorites, this opalescent. And I love this look for some reason. I just really love it. And just kind of have to make sure I get it all over. You see that? And I do have some extra in there. I can actually see I put like way too much in there. So I'm going to put that back. And I'm just checking all around, trying to make sure I got it all. You know, and if you don't get it all and you don't want to try to re-glitter them, this is what happened, this one here. I didn't get it all. And then after I looked at it, I was like, you know, I think it's kind of cool the way it is. So, you know, there's that. All right, so shake out that extra, put it in your cup, and let it dry, preferably overnight, okay? And that is all there is to glittering ornaments. Isn't that easy? Isn't that super, super easy? Oh my gosh. It's like when you show people, they're like, that's it? Yeah, yep, that's it. The time, that's probably the messiest part. The time consuming part is getting, finding what you want to put on it and cutting it and getting it on there nice. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I kind of, after I started looking at that, I was like, ooh, I kind of like it. I was mixing two colors and I just didn't, I don't know what I did there. But you can do all kinds. So this is your regular glitter. This is a chunky green mix. There's that opalescent. White is wonderful. Here's like a green, like a teal green. I don't use all the traditional colors, so let's see what else I got. I've got like, this is a green mix, and there's that multicolor. So once you're done, once they're dried off overnight, preferably, I'm just going to move these out of the way, okay, is you're going to take this top, which you've reserved, you're going to push in these two pieces without pushing this part, okay? Going to push in these two pieces, and then they go in this way. And this is the reason why I also want it to be dry, because it will scrape on the inside and ruin the glitter, okay? And then you just put this little, make sure you don't press in there, and there you go. Now, some people will glue these tops in, but frankly, I think that they hold pretty nicely as long as they're not pushed out of proportion or pulled out of proportion. Okay, so that's all you have to do is put the little covers back on, and then put them in like I have, in a little bucket over here until you're ready to do the vinyl. All right, so I'm going to move all this stuff. I'm going to work from the Joy tonight, because I think this is a perfect project, to work with kids on, as long as they're patient kids, and B, the smallness of the Joy. So what I did before we got on is I tried different kinds of vinyl. Now, we got a lot of vinyl. I get a lot of vinyl. You know, like I get all those mystery boxes. So, you know, I get vinyl. I don't use it an awful lot. And this is actually vinyl that I cut from the recent mystery box. Remember that flat stuff? It was called Maritime. Well, first I started cutting it in like 4-inch strips. Okay. And I thought, okay, I can use that on my mat. Then I remembered, oh, I also have smart vinyl around here. And let me show you this one here. This one's great. And wait, no, it's this one. Oh, I love this one. It's like gold and it's called champagne, silver, and gunmetal, which is kind of like a black, but they're shiny. Let me open it up for you. So this is what's called smart vinyl, and this stuff, it goes into the Joy without a mat. But I had also heard that you can put vinyl in to the Joy. So I wanted to try it. You can put regular vinyl in with the Joy. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to try this. And so that if people ask me, can it be done? Because a lot of people have asked me, can it be done? And I am happy to report that yes, indeed, you can put regular vinyl as long as it's cut wide. It has to be cut to the width of this smart vinyl, which is 5.5 inches, okay? And the reason it has to be cut wide is because it has to go underneath our little guides here so that the rollers pick it up and bring it in. Would I use this all the time? Maybe not, but I did try it. It worked fine. Here are some things that I did. This is done on the smart vinyl. It's got a very thick backing. And this was done without a mat, with the regular vinyl, removable vinyl, no mat, and it's thinner. So, you know, it's sort of like your heart sort of takes a little beat when you put it in the machine. You're like, is it going to mess up? Is it not going to mess up? So I wanted to show you how to do that. But first I want to just tell you, you know, you can use any of these vinyls that you got in your mystery box, or any vinyls that you have. Oh no, Constance. Oh no, a flood. Oh gosh. I'm sorry. Everybody's okay? So vinyl. It does not have to be smart vinyl. You can use regular vinyl. You can either use a mat, or if it's cut the right size, you can use it without a mat in your machine. I have not tested this in the bigger machines, and clearly this could be done on the bigger machines as well. But I don't know if it could be done without a mat in the bigger machines. I just haven't tried it yet. Okay. So let's talk about finding images, and then we'll cut some things out, and I'll show you how I size them and how I do them. Now, these are going to be, granted, very basic cuts. So they're not going to be layered. We'll do layered in a different video. This, I just want for you to realize how simple this is to do, and that you can do it. And so I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Did I use removable? I did use removable. Actually, yep, this one here is removable. I use the removable. You don't necessarily have to use the permanent. And can we just talk about removable versus permanent? Because someone was like, why would I want removable vinyl? Removable vinyl, it's a little bit misunderstood. It really, what it means is it comes off and doesn't leave a residue, but it's not going to like just fall off. It's not removable like it's going to curl and come off on you. It will stay where you put it for several years. So you don't have to worry about it like coming off in the rain if you have it on your car or whatever. It just means when you pull it off, it's not going to leave a residue, whereas permanent vinyl, and this is the Cricut vinyl. Now, I can't speak to 651 or Cal and all that because they have different grades, like they have 631 or whatever. They have different grades in there. Those are for professional applications. So I don't generally work with Orcal. I used to, but I stick with the Cricut, and I have plenty of Cricut vinyl, so I don't have to worry about ever, that's so removable vinyl, do not be afraid if you get in a mystery box or whatever, or if you're at the store and all they have is removable in the color that you want. It doesn't mean that it's going to fall off on you or curl off on you. And even the window cling would work on this kind of application. Window cling stays on remarkably well and really doesn't just kind of like peel off and curl off or anything. Okay? So So any kind of vinyl, basically. And you know, we all have patterned vinyl. We have remember we got this holographic kind of stuff. There's sparkle vinyl. There's all kinds, you know. So any kind that you want to use will work for this. It really will. So how do I find and where do I look for images? Okay, so we're going to go to images. I'm working on my iPad. And as I always say, you know, you guys can work on whatever device you want to work on. Your laptop, your desktop, your iPad, your phone, whatever works for you. I'm just working on the iPad because it's easier for me to show you this. So I'm going to go to images. All right. And in my head, what I'm looking for is a simple image, preferably one layer. Doesn't matter the color because I can choose the color, but preferably one layer. And it has to look good, sort of small. And I tend to like ones that kind of have a roundish look. Oftentimes you'll find things that's like one long, like say Merry Christmas, and it's long. That doesn't work as well for this type of an ornament. Having something that's sort of roundish is a better bet. So in this case, this one says joyful, merry, and blessed. But something like this, bright, it's going to be a little bit difficult. And I cut it bigger so you could see what I was talking about. Here's merry and bright, too big, really. It's going to be too big, but it would work well on a bigger ornament. So first, how do you find them? Okay. So I go to, when I look for images, I go to highlighted categories, my favorite place, the image sets, and I type in the word Christmas. You can also go just to the regular search and search for certain words or phrases like merry and bright or Noel or peace or love, whatever you want to do. But I found with the Christmas, when you do this by Christmas, you get about 85 results. And so you can kind of scroll around. All right. And I found that there are a couple of really awesome image sets that have recently been added. This one here is, so if you are like beachy person or you know, like the water, there's this whole image set for the beach. There's one for like the woods. This one is cookies, Christmas cookies and cocoa. And this one here, simple Christmas phrases. And don't worry if it's in black and you don't want it in black. That's okay. But, you know, just kind of look around and look for something that's sort of roundish, as simple as you can get to start with, okay? This one here, Team Rudolph. Now, if it has two colors, that's okay, because you can actually make it two colors, or you can make it one color, and I'm only showing you one color images tonight again. So this is where I find different things. Or then I would also, there's one, where did I find it? This one here is all about food. Where's that one that I found? Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that about permanent versus removable. Up. All right, so this is a great little one, you know, simple Christmas phrases. And you'll see what I mean about it being sort of roundish versus being like long. And if it ever loads. Okay, come on, load. All right, here we go. So, you know, you can look around and like, look this one, Merry Christmas, y'all. If you're from the South and you say y'all, believe in the magic of Christmas. There's all kinds of fun little things. Christmas blessings, spread joy. I liked that. And this one, joyful, merry, and blessed. That one was good. And do you know what I mean? Like it's sort of roundish, or it's compact. It's not like long. Like for instance, this one, squad goals, it would be really small when you actually get it on your ornament. So you have to think in terms of that. Some things just don't translate well on the ornaments. Now you can also go back, search all ornaments and put in words like Noel. And it will bring up a bunch of different Noels. This one I used because it was stacked. Or I might want to use just those letters and not that round part. That's also an option. Here's another one that's a little more intricate. And so you can do that with any of words that you might think of, like Santa. And obviously it's going to come up with images, but most people want to put like writing on theirs, but you could put images as well. And there's some pretty like basic, I won't say basic, but simple, streamlined. But here's Santa. And it might be like Santa come tonight, Santa's sidekick. I don't know. And then if you have someone who's like first Christmas, or I did one for a friend whose daughter was getting engaged that Christmas. So we did a wear engaged, and I put some little like rings on there. And then on the back of the ornament, I put the year. So you can do stuff like that, and you can, to your heart's content. So this is how you would look for them. Okay. And then when you get back to your canvas, as far as sizing it, you really need to be very careful about choosing a size that is pretty much like somewhat smaller, and definitely width, but also height, but somewhat smaller than when it starts to get sort of rounded here. Like, see how it gets rounded there? It's sort of semi-flat here, but then it gets sort of rounded there. So you don't want something really big. So this would be too big for this size ornament. Better to, and I think, I think I sized these ones at, let me just check. Yeah, 2 1/4 inches in width. I know it seems small, but 2 1/4 is probably perfect for this size ornament. And then you could do on the back too if you wanted to. Okay. So once you have some things that you like, and you can change the colors again, like, so you don't have to use red, or whatever you want to use, you can go ahead and cut them, but make sure they are all sized small enough, because if they're not, you might have to go back and resize them. And that's okay too if you have to resize them. But here I have, let's see, I don't know, 7 or 8, 3, 6, 7. I have 7 different images. I have them in 3 colors. They're simple. So I have 2 red, 2 gold, and 3 black. Okay. And I'm going to cut this on the Joy. So I'm going to hit Make It. All right. Now we're going to try it without the mat. These ornaments are, someone's asking about the ornament. This is I'm looking at the package. It's called, glass ornaments. They're about 3.5 inches total, or 3 or 4 up to 4 inches. Okay, that's the one that I'm using. Yes, and Lola has it right. Scraps are coming really good use for this. Or again, if you want to use the smart vinyl, you can use the smart vinyl. So I'm going to show you smart vinyl, and I'm going to show you doing it without a mat, regular vinyl. Okay, just so you can kind of see. So once I do this, I'm going to choose without mat, even though I'm not using all, don't tell anybody, I'm not always going to use the smart vinyl. So you'll see I have 3 mats. And one of the things, if you are a frugal person like me and you think, I'm going to lose all of that vinyl, it's going to be a waste. Remember, you can always touch on one of these images and move it, as long as the images don't cross over. okay? And you can save yourself a lot of vinyl that way. So same thing for here. I'm going to move this one over here. Oops. Right? Side by side. So it's using less. I don't know why it doesn't do that, but I don't know. That's just maybe because it's not straight line, whatever. I don't know. But this is what I do. I move them over so I can save my vinyl. And so I've got my 3 pieces here. I could even do that if I want, whatever you want to do. I could move this up here a little bit more. All right. And then I'm going to hit continue. Now I have to make sure that my Joy is connected by Bluetooth. I probably should have done that in the beginning, but I didn't. So let's go to settings, and I got Bluetooth on, and my Joy is actually connected because from before when I was, so it's all set. And now I have to choose a material. So this is what we get. You can do favorites here, but I haven't indicated any favorites yet. Oh, I think I did one, the faux leather, okay? And what we're going to choose is, even though we're not going to use all smart material, we're going to choose smart vinyl for this, okay? So I was choosing smart vinyl removable because that's what I had. All right. And let me show you. First, I'm going to put in the smart vinyl, okay? And is this removable? Yep, it is removable. See that? Smart vinyl removable. So, let's see. Want to do the gold one. Let's do the gold one. Might have to change my material set. Smart vinyl removable. Okay. So, here's what you do. This is smart vinyl. It comes on a backing. It has like these little strips on the side. You hold it without a mat. You hold it and you just sort of gently ease it into the machine. Now look it. I kind of messed it up and the machine fixed it for me. But if you don't feel comfortable, you can always like remove it as well. But it's sort of in there, sort of a little sideways, but the machine sort of self-corrects. Okay, and then all I have to do is hit go. And the machine prepares, make sure that I have enough, and then it starts to cut. And we'll just watch it go. Let's see, while we're watching it go, I'm going to get my other piece of, let's see, white or gold? Well, I'm doing gold right now. Almost done. All right. It's getting ready to be done. And so when it's done, I have to unload it from the machine. That's slightly different than if you have a bigger machine. Okay. So I have to choose unload. And it comes out and it's done. There it is. See, there's 2. Now, what's really cool about this smart vinyl is I can cut it off here and I can still use this length. It's not wasted if you don't use the whole piece, okay? So before I cut it out and I weed it, I want to show you, let me see if I can find the black. Yeah, because we got 3 blacks. And the black looks actually really good with gold. Okay, so this one here I cut to work on a mat, but I know I have some that I cut here. I hope it's long enough. Let me just measure it. It might not be long enough. All right, let's try it and see. this will be a good test. So this is non-smart vinyl, and it is not on a mat, but I have cut it wider. This is what I would cut for a regular mat, like this. You see that? And they would have those little marks. That's where the roller would take. But you can actually cut it this 5.5 inch. I think what I'm going to use is this red. I'm going to cancel this out because I think this is not long enough. And we're going to end up with a problem. Okay, so we got the red in there. Let's do this one, which is supposed to be black, but who cares? And watch what it does. This is not a smart material, no mat, and it's cut at 5.5 inches, which is the same width as this. And I have to pick, and I choose smart vinyl. See that? Removable. Now, don't confuse yourself. This is not smart vinyl, but I'm choosing smart vinyl because I want the machine to know that there's no mat, okay? And I'm going to hit go because my machine is blinking. All right, and while I'm cutting that, see that? It does it, you know, so heck, you know, if you have a joy and a lot of vinyl like that you've collected over the months or whatever, and you think, oh, I can't use my vinyl that I collected, or I can't use the stuff I got in the mystery box. Untrue. You can actually use it without a mat, or you can use it on a mat, as long as it's cut the right size. Now, if it was cut too small, like the size of a mat, it would not work because your rollers are here and here on the edges, and the rollers what keeps it moving in the machine, okay? On here I trimmed off my 2 images, and I'm going to show you how I weed it after we get this one done. I think we'll just cut out the 2 colors, and so try to keep it as simple as possible. Now, one thing I did not mention that you're going to need is transfer tape. Yeah, removable. Don't be afraid of removable. It really isn't like it's not gonna fall off. It just means that you're not gonna get a residue. Okay, transfer tape. A lot of people ask me about transfer tape. Sorry. My phone rang. I don't know if you guys are still with me. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, so I always use Cricut transfer tape, mostly because I always get it from Cricut. But if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, some people have found some things at the dollar store and at different places. I'm not the best person to give you advice on what kind of transfer tape because I just always use the Cricut stuff. Okay, but I like the Cricut stuff. I like the fact that it's clear and it's actually tape. You can hear me? Yes, thank you. Okay, so we're still cutting out that. I'm going to try to clean up my area here while we're waiting for that to cut. I'm such a messy crafter. All right, and we have, let's see, we have get a couple of these ready. All right, almost done. And so, I mean, it works really well. I mean, it just looks kind of funny in the cutting out. I don't know if that, it doesn't look as uniform, but it does cut out okay. So there's really nothing to be afraid of in using it without the mat. The only stipulation I would make to you is make sure you cut it very, very straight and exactly at 5.5. Okay? So, I know, I'm such a messy crafter. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to let that finish up. But here is how you weed it. Even the same as with smart vinyl, all right? So you pull off a little bit on the corner. And I always weed like kind of rolling it along with my finger, especially for this small stuff, because I don't like it when I lose things like the eyes or the apostrophes or whatever. So let's unload our other piece. So here's our other, and it cut really well. I'm sorry I'm losing some light here. This always happens to me on a Saturday night. I really wish I would fix this. Next time. Okay, so I have 3 pieces on here. That one says spread joy. This one says peace, joy, and love. And I'm just cutting them into different pieces. So really all you do is this is called weeding. You just take the little pieces out from the negative space that you don't want. And I work on a flat surface. Sometimes you could work with like a light board, or some people have told me they weed up against a window, or they only weed during the day or with really great lights. So it just going to pull off from a corner, right? And just kind of work your way, and then come back and pull out these, what I call them, negative spaces. I don't know. They probably have an official word, like an official title for what they are, but so I go through and I just kind of pull these things out. And yes, it gets a little bit messy on your hand, so just kind of have to deal with that. Or you can make a little pile along your side of your desk or whatever. So let's work with this one first. Once I get it all weeded, I do trim it up because I don't want to waste my transfer tape. Then I take my transfer tape, which I've cut out in a strip over here somewhere. Where is it? Hello? I'd have to cut some more. I normally cut it on my... I'll just cut it from the roll. Okay? So I usually cut a strip, use the grid lines. Then I will put it here, or you can put it on the top or whatever to make sure that you're cutting the right size. It's okay if it's a little bit bigger. If it's a little smaller, not so much. Peel it. Now, keeping it on a flat surface, we're going to press it on there all at once because we don't want any bubbles, okay? And then, let me use my... See how it has like a little bit extra? You can trim that off. No big deal. So it's not sticky in your hands. All right. Then I flip it over. And using my, wherever it is, here it is, my scraper, you can use whatever you want, but I always like burnish it onto the back here. Works great for me that way. All right, I burnish it just to make sure that I'm transferring it onto the transfer tape. Then I turn it upside down and I remove the transfer tape backing, and here's what I have. There's my transfer. There's a little piece here. You certainly could try that, Wanda. Wanda's saying, could you curve the images? Yeah, you could do that. All right, so peace, joy, and love. Let's get ourselves a ornament. All right, so there's an ornament all dried off. Try to get all those little pieces of vinyl off your fingers. And then I hold the ornament in my hand, and then I hold it sort of above there so I can get it really smack dab in the middle. And I tend to just make sure that the middle's on there. And then what I do is using my finger, I sort of push it out. Now, you may not get it all on there correctly. And I'm going to get up really close so you can see. Because you're working on a curved surface and this is a flat thing. And that's okay. What you really want to do is make sure not that the transfer tape is flat, but that what your design is flat. Does that make sense? And if you have something like this where it's not quite, that's okay. Start working up here once you get this on here and start peeling away. And look how I peel. I peel sort of like at an angle. I don't peel it like rip like that. I peel it kind of at an angle with using my thumb and then making sure that things aren't lifting. So here's something that's lifting. So I need to go back, press it a little bit more. Come on. There we go. All right. And I'm still just kind of working at an angle, making sure that it's on there. Now I get down to the love, the V and the O, and I have to kind of work there, make sure that it's on that ornament. It's not. Go back, give yourself patience or give yourself some time. Don't try to rush it. All right. This does take practice too. So there you go. All right. Now, sometimes you get really, really close here. Sometimes you'll have a little bubble or you'll have like a little bump. This is where you can take your little pick and you can, so here I have a little bump right there and I have a little bump there. So I'm going to put it on flat surface, makes it easier for me. But you can actually pick it up like this. Not the whole thing, just that one part of the letter, and then ease it back into place so that bubble or that bump is gone. And try not to pull too hard because it is vinyl, yes, but it will still rip, okay? And up here I could do this L, make it a little bit better. Here we go. That's it. Da-da-da. Want to see it again? That's it. So easy. You do not need to put anything on it to like seal it or anything. That's it. That vinyl is not going to come off. But you know, you can use your thumbs and your fingers and just make sure that everything's on there really good. You can put a little ribbon on the top or a little flower or whatever you want to do. That's it. So simple. Let me show you that again so that you can see. It's really not hard, guys. You're going to try this, and you're going to be like, why didn't I try these before? And I'll say, I don't know. Okay, this one says, spread joy. And I'm going to just go back and remove these little pieces, the loops inside of the loops, right? And again, great lighting, which I don't have tonight, but you try to, use great lighting or do it in the daylight or use it like one of those light boxes or whatever. All right, so there it is. I can trim it up if I want to save myself a little bit of transfer tape. And then I have my little strip of transfer tape. Have I ever made one of the unicorn? I have actually made a ton of unicorn things. Actually, I wanted to do a post. I wanted to do a video of a unicorn party last year, but I don't know what happened. I had to bump it for some reason. I never came back to it. I love unicorn things. There's some really cool unicorn things. Okay, so I'm putting the transfer tape on. Again, Hey, be quiet, please. I'm going to just trim around here where it's the sticky part is still sort of there. I just don't want that extra piece. And again, I've cut this small. Having something big like this is not going to work on there, see, because it would just like overlap, okay? So I have my transfer tape on there. I turn it over. You don't have to use one of these. You could also use the back of your scissors or of your weeder, whatever works for you, okay? If you have a boning folder knife or whatever works. Flip it over, make sure, okay? Okay, Lynn. I will do I love unicorns. Okay, so I'm full and I've got it backwards here, and I'm removing the backing from the tape. Here's my that's just a little piece of glitter. So here's my design on the transfer. Let's use, will this look good? No, well, it might look good actually. This sort of green with red. All right, I hold it kind of like this. I aim for the middle like that, and I'm pushing it on here. Now remember, you might have to kind of work on that other side. Oops, I got a little piece of glitter in there. That's how glitter is, right? Okay, so I'm pushing it all on real good. I start in one corner. And if you need to, use your weeding tool. And then I'm pulling it off using my thumb. I'm not pulling it directly like that. All right? I might have to come back and look at that D. Yeah, it was at the beginning, Jennifer. Thank you for that compliment. That's so nice. Yeah, we did the glittering part at the beginning. And so you can, I'm going to post this on a replay so you can watch it on the replay, or you can go to YouTube. YouTube will have, it has all my videos at Miss Rita to the Rescue. So now I'm going to look at it real close, and this actually went on really good. I don't see any bumps or anything, but if you need to, remember, you can come back, sort of lift that little piece and do it, because it's just, it's still got a curve to it, you know? It's still got a little curve. So in this one here, I can see a little A. The A is a little bit lifted. So get my, yeah. All right. So that's it. That's it. What do you think? Do you love them? Tell me you love them, because they're really simple. Are you going to try them? I want you to try them. They're so much fun. They really don't cost a lot of money. You don't need a whole lot of materials, and they're pretty easy and inexpensive to do. So I want for you to try them, okay? So show me a little love that you love these and you're going to try them, and we can be finishing up for the day. I've tried these in places, slices in the transfer tape. Yes, you could also do it that way as well if you wanted to. Someone's mentioning it's moved up, but if you wanted to, you put your transfer tape on and you actually remove half of it, and that would be for like a big project, you know, like a really big project where you can actually remove half of the backing but not the other half. It makes it a lot easier to position it, and that's another technique that we can do at a different time. But with this being so small, it's not a problem with taking it off of the whole thing. So I hope you try them. If you're in my group, post your pictures like some of you have started doing. I love that you're doing that. I love to see your take on a project. You have come up, you've wowed me. I'm trying to remember the one I saw just recent. Oh, the one we did on Monday, the Leah Griffin. Somebody did that 3D card and did like a whole bunch of them, put a banner, and they posted in the group. So if you're not part of the group, ask to join. And if you are part of the group and you make these, then definitely post pictures, okay? Because I want to see them. I love seeing them. And I love seeing that you guys are trying these things. And, you know, you do the best you can with what you know and what you have. And then when you know better, you do better. That's all. So don't be, you know, picking on yourself. Don't be saying, oh, I didn't do this right, because that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you're trying a new technique, the fact that you tried it is the most important thing. So thank you so much for coming to date night. And let's see, we'll be back on Monday at 9 o'clock. Let's see, we're going to, even though it's just like the end of July, I'm going to try to squeeze in one or two more Christmas projects, okay? And then we'll head into August when we'll do all the fun summery things. We'll do flamingos and unicorns and, you know, just kids t-shirts, and then we'll start getting ready for the fall. So if you're not following me or you don't come to, you know, the morning chat at 9 o'clock, and that's Eastern time, you can catch me on the replay on YouTube or also on my Facebook page. Thank you everyone for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me on Cricut Date Night. Have a great night, everybody. Where to get the ornaments? Rosalind, I get the ornaments at Michael's. They sometimes will sell them at Joann's. But I haven't been very lucky there. Michael's always has a ton of these, and they go on sale, so don't buy them for retail because they do go on sale, okay? All right, bye, everyone.